Yeah, man. I'm chewing right now. And between talking to y'all good people. So what's one of your favorite groups on your foray into learning about hip hop?
Um, like favorite hip hop groups ever, like or
Mm-mm. Like some things you've been vibing with since you've been discovering new music in hip hop. I should say.
can I ask for an elaborate? Like what do you mean? Like as far as like what artists I've been vibing with, or like what new sound I've been vibing with?
Yeah, like artists, sounds, some things that you might not have knew where it came from, and then you heard it again. You was like, oh, okay, oh snap. Like, how's that journey been?
I feel like there is a lot of songs that I have heard from my youth that and that's the biggest thing right there is the epiphany, because being able to go back and listen with a new eye, like I'm being able to see like the music that was out there, the songs that I really do love, actually pulling them up, looking at the lyrics, seeing what they actually saying. There's a lot of songs that I really enjoyed and really put on a pedestal that, given a real purposeful ear now, it just opens up a new level of appreciation, because sometimes the lyrics are even like, even now you would think like, dang, you listen to something, you be like, dang, I ain't even catch, I never caught it. You said, oh snap, he meant that. Oh snap. So it's that type of stuff. Being able to not only hear new music I haven't heard from the genre, but also being able to develop a new level of appreciation for the music I've already heard.
Right, right. I can dig it. Like, has it been songs where that were newer, and you felt like that was original, and then you heard something, you were like, damn, okay, that's where that came from, like a sample wise.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, I guess it's an honorable mention. I can remember the sample very much so off the top of my head. Where is the song? Hold on. It is because I got a playlist with all my samplers, all my sample songs and originals and the it is this one. Sinner who's
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna sin again. Lord forgive me. It was hearing this and realizing like, oh, this is not even like they sampled. Not only did they sample somebody, it's some German group.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they not even like super well known as far as I know. Like, so it's like wow to see what this was, and then like honorable mention, because if you listen to this, it gets to a part that samples another song that I have real good memories with. So it's like, wow, it shows me two different examples of how somebody can take one song and like really shape that into something that is just amazing culturally. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody will hear this beat and know what it is. Now this part right here, this song right here goes to this song. And it's just like wow. So it's like not only Kendrick, but now this song, this is relatively new. This came out in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh wow, they sampled that same song, a niche song, and it's like they turned it into this. Like it just shows like that really like to show the dynamic of it because this came out in 2005, so it's not that old. But just to show how music can be translated, really shows the art, and
But they
that's
had a
something I
different
enjoy.
vision.
Yeah,
They heard it a different way and had a different vision for it. But that's the beauty of hip hop. That's the beauty of hip hop because hip hop and the people who at that time in the early to mid '70s who created hip hop, who as I said were tired of fighting each other, were children of all the music that came before hip hop. Jazz, funk, soul, blues, country, rock, all predated hip hop. So if you have people who, young people especially, who are influenced, and disco, who are influenced by all those forms of music who came before hip hop, it would only stand to reason that all the influences musically would be from those genres of music, which once again explains the reason why hip hop is so much different than everything that came before it. It's not a genre of music. Hip hop is an amalgamation of all the genres of music that came before hip hop. Hip hop is not a genre of music because it borrows from everything. That's why it can't be stopped. It's a living, breathing thing. It's a movement. It's the people. You can't quantify hip hop. You can't duplicate it. It belongs to the people outright because it is the people. It will never be a genre of music. It can't be bottled up that way. Which if y'all have been paying attention, y'all should be paying attention. Before this battle happened in 2024, I'ma say starting around the pandemic time. The pandemic time when everything was shut down and people couldn't perform like that, a plan was hatched to get rid of hip hop. And the plan was supposed to be Afro beats and a Latin based theme music was going to be taking place of hip hop. And if you don't believe me, you can look back at what happened to rock. You can look at what's now happening to country and tell me I'm lying. K-pop is starting to feel the same thing I'm talking about now.
you talking about the fact that now country music, instead of primarily having the primary instrument as the guitar, they are switching to having the primary instrument as the 808s.
That
It should be thumping. What in the country bumpkin makes them be thumping? When they say huh 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 tonky, what? Ain't
it's,
no
it,
way.
it's partially that. It's partially what you're talking about. But what I'm saying was unique to hip hop because hip hop ain't is not a genre of music. Like the other ones could be infiltrated and taken off the map. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up and say this. Hip hop is the only thing that black people have that has not been taken because they can't take it because hip hop is based on niggas. And I'm not saying niggas in the way that white folk think about niggas. Black folk created every genre of music. The difference with hip hop is not a genre of music, it's an amalgamation of how the people feel about music, exacerbated by the fact they felt they had no voice. And that's why they cannot take it from us. But they are trying. Around the pandemic, they tried because everything was shut down, so they tried to ease in uh, defunding rap and hip hop and promoting Afro beats and Afro Latina sounding music. Right? Okay.
Hmm.
Everything opens back up. Hip hop starts, getting back in the forefront. Maybe with not so much backing from the labels who were trying to trickle the shit down and funnel it. But what they were also trying to do at the same time, as they were promoting Afro beats, they were trying to slide in AI on the sneak. Cause you remember, a couple of years before the battle, they had a whole ass AI dude that they were trying to push as being a rapper. And when the culture and the people pushed back, they abandoned that whole idea. But guess what though? That idea was rekindled when Drake did Tailor Made Freestyle, which is ironically the same song that cost him his bitch ass lawsuit. Because what you took to court, putting hip hop's lyrics in court, when you had previously signed a petition when Young Thug was going through his trial. Signed a petition along with other people saying that hip hop lyrics should not be used in court. That hip hop lyrics should not be confused with a confession or tied to any aspect of reality as far as legally. In layman's terms, your lyrics should not be used against you in a court of law as a confession or statement of an actual crime that you committed. But just a few years after that, now you're suing a fellow rapper for his lyrics because your feelings got hurt. Like, the amount of hypocrisy is staggering. It's staggering. This is a dude who was never hip hop, who tried to work his way up into the culture from Canada, who started out as a child actor, but he started from the bottom.
The bottom of what? The cast list? What do you
Who
mean?
also tried to sue his studio because he did not want to be in that wheelchair because he was trying to launch his rap career and he felt like being in a wheelchair was going to project weakness.
He damn near trying to be a Crip. What do you mean he can't be in a wheelchair? Aubrey be on the ground wheelchairing it out. He think he is. What does he mean?
Can't make this shit up, y'all. Cannot make this shit up. But this the nigga y'all want to have on the forefront and represent what it means to be a rapper, to be from hip hop. Well, he don't even understand it or don't really care about it because he got it in court. At some point, since y'all want to have snitch conversations, right? You want to talk about 6ix9ine being a snitch. You want to talk about T.I. being a snitch. You want to talk about 50 being a snitch. You want to talk about Young Thug being a snitch. Gunna Wanna being a snitch. Now here with Gucci Mane. But Drake took hip-hop to court. He put rap lyrics in paperwork, in federal paperwork, when he didn't have to. Drake went so far as to saying that Not Like Us was anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic. He said Not Like Us was a hate crime.
Now he said it was anti-Jew, so how you anti-Jew but you ain't anti?
And the reason why he said it was, Mela, is because Kendrick said you're not a colleague, you're a fucking colonizer. So you're saying, Drake, that you attribute being a colonizer with your heritage. That's what you said. But you also said and made fun of Kendrick being molested. But that's not what the lyrics was, but that's what you said, and that's what you rapped in the Heart Part 6. You also made fun of trans people when you said, where's your uncle at? Because I want to talk to the man in the house. knowing Kendrick made Auntie Diaries on Mr. Morale, talking about his aunt transitioning to a man. You also had homophobic bars aimed at the weekend when you said weekend be at places where it's a little bit more pride. But this the nigga y'all want to. The same nigga who has multiple slave bars for no fucking reason, which is the reason why Not Like Us was born, because he fucking did it again when he was like, you rapping like you're trying to get the slaves free. After rhyming with Scissor on Slime You Out, that I'm a whip and chain you like American slaves. But this the nigga y'all want to be the forefront of hip hop. Yeah, it ain't fun without Drake. The nigga who want to put cases on everybody, it ain't fun without him. Niggas on the spectrum and they ain't talking about cable. And forgive me, people who's actually on the spectrum, because I'm not talking about y'all. Because y'all are special in the most unique and loving sense of the word. These niggas just special in the other way you say special. I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. They throw bail for this nigga who is currently being, he wanted, look. I'm gonna back up because I'm telling y'all don't pay attention. Some of y'all out there in the world do. Because y'all been parodying, I'm not gonna say parodying. Y'all have been saying the same thing I have been saying, but I just not got a microphone. I'm gonna use this motherfucker to the fullest. Y'all might get tired of me, but I'm gonna say what needs to be said, and I'm gonna stand on it. But when this started, everybody was on Drake's side. I know they've been trying to rewrite history as if everybody was on Kendrick and Drake was in a lose-lose situation. And uh, uh, no, no, no. All y'all felt like Kendrick don't be outside enough. He don't write fast enough. He always got some collard green and cornbread music, and you just want to shake your ass. They was calling the shit Harriet Tubman music, especially concerned with Doechii and people on TDE. That's what the word was. Once again, with that slavery shit. But when the rubber hit the road, we saw what it was. But now, since this nigga's ego got cracked, he want to take hip hop and free speech to court because it wasn't supposed to go that way. All Drake had to do after the battle was like, "Yo, he got the best of me." You know what I'm saying? That was a good rap battle. I'm glad we can entertain hip hop. This is what it's about. Congratulations to Kendrick, and went on about his way and made his music. But no, your ego couldn't take the fact that you got your ass whooped by somebody that you were trying to diminish the whole time. Let's not forget, it's a sports nation. Used to be on ESPN with Marcellus Wiley, and they did an interview with Drake, and they said that he just wowed out and just started talking shit about Kendrick for the majority, if not the entirety of the interview. But he was supposed to have been doing the ESPYs that year, hosting the ESPYs, and they was like, well, If y'all air that footage, he's not doing the ESPYs. And that was after the Control verse. Because Drake was mad that everywhere he went, he was getting asked about the Control verse, but he had an album coming out, and he was trying to do press for his album. He didn't want to talk about the Control verse. But that's the difference. Drake tried to shade Kendrick about the Control verse with Elliott Wilson in that infamous interview where he was like, that was just a moment. If I had to ask you, do you know how that verse started? And saying that Kendrick only create moments. But guess what? All his moments had impact. Your moments don't. Which is the reason why 2 years later, you're still reeling from the impact that he popped your ass with in 2024, in the summer of 24. And Drake is still mentally damaged by that. Not only him, but his sycophants. Not his stands, as y'all like to say. These niggas are sycophants. They're in the coat of the OVO. The OVOites. And they like it. And they defend that shit regardless of how ridiculous it is. At some point, y'all niggas gonna have to come to grips with how fucking adjacent Drake and his fans are to MAGA and the people from January 6th. Because it's parallel. They're doing the same thing. They wholeheartedly believe, and all the evidence say, you should not. You got Ja Rule, you got Maul, you got fucking Joe Budden, you got academics, a multitude of motherfuckers out here risking their everything behind this nigga. Who would be quick to throw their ass under the bus if it benefited him. Who don't really talk to these niggas like that. When Drake goes to spend his time with people, it's white supremacist people. White supremacist adjacent, or just straight up white people. Bobby Ashtoff, or however the fuck you say her last name, the QXC dude, the Aiden Rosses, these the niggas he going to see in person. He ain't saying he not going to see no Joe Budden in person. He not going to see no motherfucking academics in this nasty ass, sweaty ass, bologna water, hot dog water basement. He ain't doing that. Not even Kai. He told Kai during the battle to stay on stream. He ain't gonna sit down with that nigga. And then put him in federal paperwork. He put Kai in the fucking paperwork. He put YouTubers and streamers in the fucking federal paperwork. But this the nigga, he put the Super Bowl, he put the motherfucking, who else he put in there? The Grammys. He put any and everybody that he felt had connection to Kendrick in that battle in court paperwork. Federal court paperwork. But that's y'all hero. That's y'all Leonidas. Y'all want to be 300 behind this bitch ass nigga. Y'all can have it. Y'all can have it. Not I said the cat. Nope. And his case got dismissed and he's now appealing it. But now, even with his appeal, he has been brought into litigation. Because this is the thing. Now, when the battle was happening, the first person, to my recollection, who brought up bots was Kendrick on 616 when he said, "You're playing dirty with Zach being Twitter bots." Right? The whole narrative of K-bots being a thing and Kendrick botting his streams came from academics who doesn't rap. But all the salty Drake fans who was basically seeing the writing on the wall, but they didn't want to come to grips with it, that Kendrick was a better MC and he was out rapping Drake doing that motherfucking battle, started running with the K-bot narrative that came from a fat ass streamer dude who likes to say shit is woke as a black man, but don't rap. And ironically enough, while Drake is suing his fucking record label, which is actually he trying to sue Kendrick, but he's using the record label as a buffer because if he sued Kendrick outright, he'll really look like a bitch and it'll blow the whole fucking mask off what he's really trying to do. For y'all dumb motherfuckers who like, well, the record label's devaluing him. Shut the fuck up. Why the fuck would a record label is basically like an arms dealer, especially when it's two artists that are signed to their label. They're an arms dealer. They're going to supply the weapons to both sides because either way, whoever gets obliterated, they're going to make money regardless. Why would UMG devalue Drake? It makes no fucking sense. We need you to make money so we can recoup money. But yeah, you sue your label, which is basically robbing your plug. Your case gets dismissed, but you want to appeal. But you also want to drop an album. And how does that work when you're trying to still drop an album with the niggas that you wanted to make, who you wanted to get more money from to continue making albums? How does that make sense? So you want to go to work tomorrow, fall out with your employer, present your employer with a lawsuit and an appearance in court, and then you expect to go sit at your desk and do your work day? Like how the fuck does that make sense? And it's crazy. There's a 52-year-old man who's seen hip hop and always known how fucking dirty the industry was and never been on the industry side. But now, here in fucking since 2024, I gotta be on the industry side because of this bitch ass nigga. That shit is crazy. It goes against every fucking thing I've always done as a lover of hip hop. It goes against everything. But now I gotta do it because of this bitch nigga. Cause he don't under fucking stand. And y'all still wanna say he won when he tapped out. The hard part 6 was a hard what they call them on we got when you doing interviews and you gotta be somewhere else at a certain time because you popping like that, they call that shit a hard out. Hard part 6 was his hard out. He waved the fucking flag. He said, I don't want to dish you no more. And then he got a sassy ass monologue at the end of the motherfucking song. But yeah, he won. That's y'all champion. You niggas don't deserve hip hop. For real, for real. Some of y'all niggas don't deserve hip hop. What you say, baby girl?
Bum.
There you go. There you have it. There you have it. From the princess. That's Princess Zuri. Like that. Exactly. Y'all niggas is weird. Y'all niggas is weird. Y'all need to tap in with hip hop history. Y'all need to stop being lazy. Y'all have these devices. Y'all have these phones and computers and all this. Y'all glued to 24/7. You casting stuff on your TV. You got smart TVs. Tap in with hip hop history. Go watch some of the old hip hop movies. Go listen to old hip hop. And you will understand it's not what y'all think it is. This shit ain't pop. Young Thug and all these niggas and Pooh Shiesty, all this shit is not what it is. That's the dumbass industry version of what they've been selling y'all for the longest, that y'all thinking is fucking culture. And how you supposed to conduct yourself, and that's not it. Tap in with the real shit, man. Do yourself a favor. It's only gonna help you. For real, for real. It's only gonna help you. I ain't got time. It's time. Time is what you make. It's not what you have. Time is what you make. You control that. I'm not even a big proponent of controlling. You know what I'm saying? Like human beings being able to control shit. But you make time. You don't have time for. Like I don't have time. You know, you make time for things. Anything you deem important, you'll make time for it, regardless of what the fuck it is. Make time to learn hip hop history. Make time to reach back and go listen to some of the forefathers and foremothers of hip hop. Make time to listen to DJs scratching and mixing and blending records. Make time to watch people breakdancing and using their bodies to physically perform the music that they're listening to. Make time for that if you want to be a part of this culture. Because if your only conversation is streaming numbers, first week sales, album sales, you a bitch ass nigga. You don't deserve to have a microphone in this culture. You don't. Tired of y'all. Been tired of y'all. Been tired of y'all. Cause y'all don't recognize the writing on the wall. They was trying to jack our shit and they're still trying to jack it with this AI shit. Look at Timberland bitch ass stealing people's work. Right? He been doing it for a couple of years. And yeah, he the co-founder of motherfucking Versus, and yeah, that was a good ass thing with back during COVID times, because how it started and everything was via Zoom, and it was a good way to interact with the culture. And you have two artists and everybody, you know, they catalog. All of that was fine and dandy. But Timberland now has been using up and coming producers' music, fronting like it was a competition to like get next to him and they maybe can get a deal to produce their art and live out their dreams, and been funneling their fucking art into AI. Bragging about signing the first AI artist and making it. Niggas, wake the fuck up. They're trying to take our shit from us. Once again. They took rock. They took country. They took jazz, blues. They can't take gospel because ain't no white person on this planet that can outsing a motherfucking a black person when it comes to gospel, especially a fat black woman. You can't do it. And they can't take hip hop. But if we keep fucking around and letting people like Drake and letting people like this motherfucking jackass Harlow with that light water from fucking mayonnaise album infiltrate our shit, we not gonna have our shit. They're gonna take it and water it down and push us out. And our voice will no longer be heard in the shit that was birthed from our love for each other. Because like I said, hip-hop was birthed from us not wanting to do violence to each other anymore. But I'm going to let y'all go because I feel like I've been talking in circles and preaching y'all to death. But I hope I've been speaking y'all to life. Like really, really do your homework on hip hop. And outside of that, stop being a fan of these people in hip hop. Stop saying you a fan of Drake. Stop saying you a fan of Kendrick. Stop saying you a fan of JID. Stop saying you a fan of whoever it is. Start saying I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm a fan of the music. That way you won't get in these situations to where you're so tied to an individual that you can't hear nothing else. You can't experience nothing else unless they're involved in it. I don't even want to use the phrase of the shit y'all be using like parasocial, but stop attaching yourself to these motherfuckers. That way, when they come out and they be fucking shit ass human beings, sometimes as human beings are, you won't be in fucking denial about a motherfucker that you done champion so long because you attach your identity to them as opposed to the culture and the music. Attach yourself to that. Because now you can be objective and call bullshit out when bullshit presents itself. Now you can hold hip-hop accountable. And stop worrying about the motherfucker that you like so much. It's crazy we gotta even have these conversations, man. It's crazy. Because I love hip-hop. I love hip-hop. Because I am hip-hop. I understand it because I am it. When I walk outside, I'm hip-hop. When I speak to other people, I'm hip-hop. And I don't have a monopoly on it. My hip-hop ain't the end-all be-all to what hip-hop is. I'm just a small portion of this thing. Because like I said, it's the people. It's what we agree on collectively that is this thing. That can't be duplicated by anybody else than the originators of it and their descendants. And that's just what it is. You can't learn this. You got to be from it. It ain't something you learn, it's something you are. It ain't something you do, it's what you are. Ain't no age limit to hip-hop. Ain't no hip-hop is a young man's sport. No. Hip-hop is the pain, the power, the struggle, the joy, the laughter, the sadness, the anger of the people. In rhythm and poetry form. Before there was ever hip-hop, there were poets who were already rappers. Writers who were already rappers. Blue comedians who were already rappers. Before there was ever a beat or a sound or a pulse to go along with the words. They were already rapping. You have to go back. You have to reach back. You have to understand where this thing came from and the history of it. In order to be able to understand what was done to it and why y'all view it the way you view it now. The shit that's out now don't feed your soul. The shit that we had does. Right now, let's be honest. Right now, if it was somebody who came along with a Queen Latifah aesthetic, y'all wouldn't respect that shit, cause she ain't popping ass. Y'all would not respect a black woman who was covered up and who was decked out in kente cloth and had the big bamboo earrings and all that the African aesthetic jewelry and all beads. And y'all would not respect it because she wouldn't pop an ass and she ain't got no club bangers. As if there's not supposed to be a balance in who you are as a human being. You can't always be at the club. You got to pay bills. You can't always have the flyest outfit if you got to feed your kids. And that should be cool because none of that should make you fly anyway. You should be fly because you are fly. That's what hip hop is. I don't have to have any of that shit. I'm fly anyway. I'm hip hop and I'm culture anyway. I'm seasoned anyway. So even if I got on a pair of flops and some sweats and a wife beater, I'm still hip hop, nigga. You see how I move? You see how I glide? I'm hip hop. I don't need all that shit to validate me. Because it comes from the inside. Because everything else is just a costume. Yeah, I could put on a police uniform. That don't mean I got the training. So when shit pop off, I'm running just like you. I ain't got the training. I just got it on the uniform. Same thing with hip hop. You can't fake this. You got to be this. Drake thought he could pump fake, and he drank his own Kool-Aid. He bought it to the ego, and he went head to head with a nigga who really from this. And they showed y'all. It showed y'all what time it is. I don't know why y'all don't want to accept it. Because maybe it's not in the package you wanted it to come from. But years later from now, 10, 20 years, you blessed with longevity, you're going to look back at this period of time and be like, I was fucking bugging. And you're also going to kick yourself in the ass because it's been so much bias with this shit that it's a lot of people who never enjoyed a phenomenal battle all because of their bias. And when they're older and this shit comes back across however it presents itself and it comes back to them, they're going to be like, damn, I really just wasted that whole fucking moment in time because I was a fucking asshole because I only wanted this person to be. Whether it's when you're talking about Kendrick or Drake, some of y'all just missed the whole fucking point. This shit was for hip hop. This shit was a win for hip hop. The whole world stopped. The whole world stopped. They was talking about this shit on CNN, MSNBC, sports channels, world news. Niggas was dancing in this shit in white old folks' homes. Niggas was having this shit at their weddings. What the fuck are we talking about? But you can only see that if you have a love for hip hop and the culture, not the individuals. I promise you, some of y'all niggas years from now are gonna be like, yo, I wasted all of that. All that fucking enjoyment. I could have just been enjoying this shit for what it fucking was, but I just wanted this nigga to win, and I just, And then some of y'all gonna see y'allself like Social media may be gone, but internet may be gone. But some kind of way, I'm telling you, shit always is able to present itself if it's recorded down. In some shape or form, you're gonna be presented with your takes around this time. You just got to cringe and look at yourself like, damn, I really was that nigga. Or I really was that bitch and I was really on it like, damn, I look like a fucking ass. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I said I was gonna give y'all a break. Then I went on a whole nother rant. My bad. But yeah, couch potatoes. Um, we gonna be around, just sitting on the couch, chopping it up, talking about different things in pop culture, society. I just might get on here and just rant about something that's on my brain. I don't know, but it would always. I promise it'll always be honest. I promise it'll always be off the cuff. I'm not trying to sell y'all anything. I'm just being me and just telling you how I see it. But all right, everybody have a good night. Till we meet again. Couch Potatoes, Rich B signing off. Peace.